球员停止赛前练习，也请所有的球迷朋友准备好，我们的比赛呢马上就要开始，也请到位置上面做准备，请场上球员停止最终的赛前练习，谢谢。 请场上球员停止赛前练习，谢谢。 现场的球迷，大家好，欢迎来到基隆市立的体育馆，参加的是2023-24季前热身赛 P.LEAGUE， 要再次的跟大家见面了。我是今天的主持人杨振磊，非常开心大家呢今天来到现场，一起来参加我们的季前热身赛。还是要跟大家呢先来说一下，我们在去年从高雄办热身赛，非常的成功。那今年呢是来到了这个北部雨都基隆，同样。 也是有非常多的球迷，相信今天的人会比昨天的人更多。这3天的连假有满满的篮球跟大家一起来度过，也请大家呢用最热烈的掌声还有欢呼声，一起来帮两边的球员打气加油。在今天我们要送上2场的比赛。 第1场的赛事呢，要由新竹工程师出战的是桃园领航员。这场比赛呢，将会在今天，等一下马上就要登场，所以我们现在呢，就请大家一起用最热烈的掌声来欢迎两边的球员介绍。首先为您介绍新竹工程师球员名单。 背号1号 No.1 施延宗，背号2号 No.2 江广谦，背号5号 No.5 宋宇轩，背号7号 No.7 曾博玉，背号12号 No.12 李佳瑞。 背号23号 No.23 吕启敏，背号24号 No.24 Taylor Brown， 接下来为您介绍这场比赛新竹工程师先发5人名单 No.3 3号王子刚。 No.4 4号高国豪 ，No.6 背号6号 Earl Clark， No.8 8号朱云豪 ，and No.32 chef 欧师傅，总教练林冠伦，助理教练沈星汉、陈泽宇 Mitolovich 黄胜富，总经理张树仁。接下来为您介绍桃园璞园领航员球员登录名单。 背号1号 Number 1丁恩迪，背号2号 Number 2陈玉瑞，背号3号 Number 3 Anthony Lawrence。Number 6背号6号关达佑 ，Number 7背号7号乔楚瑜 ，Number 8 8号东方益康 ，Number 10 10号林子伟 ，Number 77 77号张伟翔。 接下来为您介绍桃园领航员先发5人名单。5号 Number 5 Kennedy Minks。Number 12 12号李家康。Number 27背号27号张镇雅。Number 30 30号白耀成。 And number 42, Jason Washburn。总教练 Head Coach Ugly Caminos， 助理教练黄启峰、杨怡峰、柯冠伟。现在请双方球员来进行最后赛前热身，也可以场中握手致意。
Remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finesse a nigga with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. Ooh, that pussy good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Piss out your per diem. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Bitch, be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Who that nigga thinking that he frontin' on that man? Get the fuck off my stage. I'm the Sandman. Get the fuck off my dick. That ain't right. I make a play, fucking up your whole life. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro with your prime. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Still take you down right on your mama couch in polo sock. Ay, this shit way too crazy. Ay, you do not amaze me. Ay, I blew cool from ACA. Oh, how much just pays me. Ay, I don't fabricate it. Ay, most of y'all be faking. Ay, I stay modest about it. Ay, she elaborated. Ay, this that great poupon, that AV on that TED talk. Ay, watch my soul speak, you let the meds talk. Ay, if I kill a nigga, it won't be the alcohol. Ay, I'm the realest nigga after all. Bitch, be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
24/7, I'm a real one. I ain't got no money problems, I ain't got no children. That
watching baby mama drama. Woo, that's a close one. Her outside host with her face like she hosts some. And she work out every day, you know them news poppin'. Stomach going apple cider vinegar. She do something to me. Good sex got you thinking me and you something. Thought it was, ayy, thought it was. 4 5s, 2 10s, that's a dub, that's a dub. Said she just graduated, I'm in love. Said she like to do the lounge, she up with the clubs. My type, like sweetie, my type, like Biggie. If the head right, I'm there all night. Like easy when I see it, I'ma hit it on sight. Like Kendrick Lamar, we gon' be off. When I used to shoot my shot, you a matrix. Now you reappear, but I hate tricks. Look, nobody likes a fade. Love who I am, not my bankroll, but I'm up, so that is not realistic. Shoot my shot, then I check the ballistics. Shoot my shot, then I'm on to the next one. Shoot my shot, no stress when I'm stressed. Shoot my shot, Steph Curry, it's a swish. Gucci or Dior, you come explore the way I live. Been taken for baddies, put the chrome out on your drip. Add up mathematics, just like magic way it flip. Look at the tone, brown skin just like the paddock on my own. Brown say you get allowance, icy charm. Fountain, I make it rain, a thunderstorm. Private flights and private nights, nobody knowing. Told her she would wake up with the they was snoring, sleeping on me, woke them up alone. Wake up, yes again, and I don't even know like how you doing. Before I got this rich, I was my life was ruined. Driving in my coupe today, my window tend to eat the plate like anime. Do it and she did the bait. $1 million, but in 1 million in the code to say. I dress in the coldest way, that though I just when I used to shoot my shot, you were mad.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Welcome to the 2023-2024 Plus League preseason series here at Keelung. The first game to take place is the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots against the Hsinchu Lioneers. We're here at Keelung Gymnasium, where the 2-game slate today will be followed up with the Formosa Dreamers against the New Taipei Kings. The Kings and Pilots in preseason action for the first time this year. The Lioneers and Dreamers yesterday faced off, with the Dreamers pulling away with the victory in the end. The Mandarin commentators on the left is Xiaohu Hu Junqi, and on the right is Cai Pao Cai Jingjing. 球迷朋友们，你找到了官方的英文讲评喽，要听小胡跟菜包的讲评，当然就按到中文的连结。谢谢你的收看，记得我们的转播都要按赞。The funny story about Xiaohu coming over is he has the nickname of the Rose of Keelung, or the Rose of the Harbor City, as he did spend time in this city, and the Rose obviously referring to his playing days as a more athletic guard. But those days might be past him, we guess. Well, after yesterday, it was Zotongkai Xiaohu's turn, as the Steelers are putting on this preseason in collaboration with the Keelung City government. On screen is Jonathan Lin, a candidate for legislator out of the Keelung district. In the preseason, we have some modified roster construction rules. No limits to registration of imports, the number of registered imports. There's no limit to the imports who can be on the active roster, but as Caminos and I talked earlier, they do need locals, as the imports are limited to 2 on the floor at all times from first through fourth quarters, unlike in the regular season where only 1 import is allowed on the floor in the fourth and overtime. And so it's a great time for all these teams to experiment with different kind of lineups, try out new guys. For both teams, they do have a center returning on the import side of things. Well, let's start with the Pilots, as we didn't get to see them yesterday. Zoe Xiang traded for with the Steelers, and second overall pick Chao Chu-yu, actually a Hsinchu native himself, are the new additions to the Pilots. They brought Jason Washburn back. Well, we have two import forwards that we'll see for the first time. On top is Lioneers or Anthony Lawrence, followed by Mi Ke-si or Kennedy Meeks. Both of those gentlemen listed at forward. The former 27-year-old, the latter 28-year-old. We'll see what kind of playing style they bring. Last year, the Pilots' import strategy, Jason Washburn, of course, the return. They also had Jeffrey Curtis Ayers, who kind of is a big position, to say it simply, and Sonny Sakakini is an undersized center, basically, with all the ball skills. And on the Lioneers side, Willie Martino is the returner, but he's still making his way back from the mainland after the Hangzhou Asian Games. Lioneers seen a lot of roster turnover too. They said thank you or goodbye to Guo Shaojie and Yi Boka. But they've added several local players. Jamarcus, who unfortunately was hurt yesterday. The airport story is interesting as they've asked for returning to the Plus League Taylor Braun. He kind of is a point forward, and we got to see Oshefu for the second time after he played in the Singapore exhibition. And also in the starting lineup is Earl Clark, the 35-year experienced veteran out of Plainfield, New Jersey. Yesterday, the Lioneers showed off a real new side as 43 three-point attempts would have been the high mark of all of last year's regular season. As a reminder, the Plus League last season, all teams played 40 regular season games, so very much a new look, but it worked for them. They hit on 18 of 43 for 42%. And almost the most part of it in the first half were, they were 10 for 20. That got them off to a big lead, but in the second half, they didn't play any of their imports, and the Dreamers ended up taking, especially with a big fourth quarter. But there's also added incentive for the Lioneers, as for the second time in Plus League history, there was a season series sweep. In their 8 head-to-heads, the Pilots actually took all 8 against the Lioneers. It might just be preseason, but I'm sure the fans, you guys would like to see turn around to that. Here Ji-hong will be the crew chief there in the middle. Let's get to the starting lineups. Meeks at center, Jason Washburn also at center. Last year's rookie there, Xiaobai Baiao will be running the point. Ma Yao Zhang Zhenyang. And onto the Lioneers, Oshefu at center, Clark, Zhu Yunhao, Wang Zigang, Prince, they call him, and Oscar Gao Guohao. Last player I missed on the Pilot side is number 12, Jackie Lee Jiakang. Lioneers in purple, the Pilots in their pinstripe orange, and Jackie Lee Jiakang in the midst of 3 Lioneers will get the tip. Mayo coming around the screen. He's got to open look on the left side, leaves it short. Last season, couldn't really find his footing till the second half of the season. He ended up being a above average shooter for the Pilots, which they sorely needed. Just any spot shooter who can hit for a decent accuracy would be valuable. Oshefu, whistle blows and the ball goes down. It's an and one. Yesterday, Oshefu in 12 minutes was able to score 10 points. That was against Washburn. You see that left hand and the right hand, just enough of a shove for the referees to blow. Unfriendly bounce. Oshefu will turn 30 before the year is done. Jackie finds a little space, but they close it down. Now the handoff with Washburn into the mid-range, putting it up and in. Jackie Lee Jiakang with the lay-in. Start of the year, barely seeing any playing time, but then he proved something to Caminos and the staff in practice, especially on the defensive end. So to start the game, you see him trying to mark Oscar as Clark bounces out the three. The Pilots ended the season in the 3rd seed and fell to the Braves in a opening round series sweep. The Lioneers finished the season in 6th place and want to improve on that. A little bit too strong, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. It would be Kennedy Meeks, born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ended up going to UNC. Clark to Oscar. A one-handed pass to Turinghal. His three's on the way, and it's a splash. Turinghal actually went to school at Geelong Sangkong, or Geelong Industrial High, as Xiaobai put it on target, but it's going to be a miss and out of bounds off of a Pilot. Pretty good move. There you see the dribble penetration and help one pass away, so to speak. Oscar also played a strong game yesterday with a team-leading 20 points. Prince on the right side, he'll miss the three as Washburn will track down the board. So we have 2 first overall picks in the game. Turinghal, who made the three earlier, number 8 for the Lioneers. And the inaugural, or the first ever draft, I should say, and then number 27, Mayao Zhang Ziya, was the first overall pick, as there's a blocking foul down low. Jackie trying to come out to set one of those offensive foul traps. A little too late. Here we see the good feed by Oscar right to the hands of Oshef. Probably figured he could finish that one through the contact. We'll have to earn it at the line. One thing to pick about Lioneers' performance yesterday, 7 for 15 from the line. In a game that they only lost by 6. Kind of look at that as one area that Coach Greg can address with the boys as an easy spot to make them even, 1%, 2% more competitive. Jackie into the mid-range as Washburn will take a try, and he barely uses it. Number 42 hyped up. Really the import that Caminos and the staff counted on the most. Oshef will try to answer, and he does. Keeping the ball high, looking for a pass. Not a threat to drive as they finally get Xiaobai on ball. High ball screen, he floats it up as that Meeks underneath with the putback. Backdoor, kick ball it looks like. Substitutions coming up as getting another look at Washburn. Keeping the Archer celebration. Last year was a 32% three-point shooter. Clark going to work, floating it up and off target. As the Pilots push it up, they have a size advantage, and they get an early whistle out of that. Wang Zigong trying to mark Jason Washburn. The substitutions includes number 2 for the Pilots. That's not a new player. That's just Taoyuan changing numbers after being 0-0 last year, along with on ball now is killer Guan Dayo. His turnaround is short as Oshefu pulls down the board. 9-7, Lioneers lead to start as Oscar through contact will get the whistle. Just one of those really shifty dribblers, so hard to catch his rhythm. That's where he gets to create space. Could have called a foul there. Certainly as he was rising up for the shot. Missing his first free throw of the afternoon. Oscar also had some of the best assists between the 2 games yesterday. Also throwing 5 steals. The Lioneers got 19 overall. And of course, 26 turnovers out of the Dreamers. Ray, or Ray as his nickname, to Guan Dayo. Slicing through, clutching, putting it on target, missing, meets, blocked by Clark. Still going at it, drops the basketball. They say it'll stay with the, well, they look like orange men of Syracuse. They'll stay with the Pilots. Pretty good defensive recovery by the Lioneers. You see Washburn go off. Guan Dayo, pretty good move, but kind of overshot his target a little bit. You want to be aiming for the corner of the board if you can. Lioneers bring on Taylor Braun and Shi Yenzong. Trying to maneuver around the down screen in the paint. Running low on time. Guan Dayo floating and missing. The Lioneers out to run. Yesterday's game, especially in the half court, they featured a lot of 5-out offense. Nice hook pass. Clark over Guan Dayo. No problem. Again, the Lioneers jumping out to a lead in the first. There's number 1 international student, Amy Dingendi, with his college teammate in Mayao. Pilots rotated around. Samsunya will rattle into 3. Samsunya last year, 41 for 121 beyond the arc. Clark, with a foot on the 3-point line, takes the shot. It's short. Well, part of the changes to personnel includes getting a lot younger for the Pilots as Andy has that one poked away. Clark behind the back and will get fouled on the sideline. Foul call in one end and a foul on the other end. We'll go to our first break of the afternoon. You're watching the Plus League preseason here at Keelung.
好，请大家呢一起把我们的焦点放在大荧幕上面。来，一起直播，一起 camera， 右手1，左手7，右手1，左手7。来，美女，右手1，不是挥手，是右手1，左手7。来，右手1，左手7，不要躲了，我们已经锁定你了。啊，蹲下来也没有用，我们已经拍到你了。好，来，没错，1，对，右手1，左手7 ，That's right， very good。好，来，右手1，左手7，不是挥手啦，右手1，左手7，这是我们的17 camera， 谢谢大家。那也提醒大家。
Welcome back inside of Keelung Gymnasium, located on Xing Lu. Constructed all the way back in 1981 in December. The full capacity of the gymnasium is 8,000, but they have an LED board up. They have obviously the cameramen and their camera towers, their camera stands, so not quite that. Yesterday, there were more than 3,000 fans who came through. And we'll kind of check out who else is in the stands or close to the floor. There's Yergi Caminos. It's his second year with the Pilots, third year overall in Taiwan after coaching in another league. They go with the alley play. Guan Dayou, I think, keeps it in bounds, tapping it off of Clark's feet. And the Pilots have numbers. It's Chao Su-yu. Couldn't do much with it before there was a foul down in the paint. Amdi's definitely one of those bigs who will, I will say, maybe a little handsy when he's fighting for position down low. Taylor Braun called for the personal foul. There's Lawrence trying to inbound it over to Chao Su-yu. Wang Zhigang maybe got away with a touch there as the Pilots throw it into a turnover. That's Shi Yanzong, a couple years ago a Pilot. Out to Clark on the switch, gets through the defense with a right-handed finger roll, a beauty. Nice and patient, sliced through the Pilots defense. Another deflected pass. The Pilots are kind of telegraphing things. Running their handoff action as Guan Dayou from the elbow airballs it. Down court, a foul by Lawrence. Even though Shi Yanzong wasn't going to really put it on target. It was almost like he fouled him to stop his momentum before going out of bounds. Pretty good feed by Braun. Out of the reach of the defense, though, so it's kind of like he had to put it there. Lawrence, out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Went to University of Miami. Of course, if you've been watching the Plus League, you know the school of one of our most established alumni, Davon Reed, also went to the U. Free throws coming up. The first one is made. Those of you in the chat, see you. Yes. Unfortunately, Jamarcus had a dislocated shoulder, or tuojiu. If you're ever in that situation and want to tell the ambulance, as Xiaohei will get the steal and the score. And once again, the Pilots are having troubles delivering clean passes. On screen there was Dongfang Yikang coming over from last year's champion DEA. Started playing with the Pilots in the interleague games hosted by the CTBA. That one's off target as Chao Su-yu can't run it down. The Lioneers right now hustling the Pilots, though a scramble for the basketball now will end up being a jump ball after the referees jump in there. Zhen Boyu and Lawrence rolling around on the hardwood. Oh no, that was Li Jiarui, excuse me. The Warrior came in as the forward in the rugby scrum. Somebody else asked if Suhao is here. Well, he doesn't play for either of these teams. We might see him later as the Kings take on the Dreamers. Charles trying to stay in front of Braun. He spins and lays it in with the left hand. And the Lioneers extend their lead to 9 points. Pilots are not quite doing what they need to on both ends as Andy goes with power and he will get the and one on local boy Li Jiarui. Gonna look at Braun going right, spinning left, having the good body control. Didn't finish last year with the TSG Ghost Hawks. And the Mustafa Dang finishes the three-point play. From Senegal. Ron looking for space. He's doubled. Pass out to Edwin. He'll try the three, too strong. One area that the Lioneers ceded some possessions was in the rebounding game. It's going to stay with the Pilots. They say it was off Zhu Yunhao. Yesterday, the Dreamers pulled down 66 rebounds to the Lioneers 35. Another new face on the Pilots coming in. Immediately getting fouled on the inbounds play. That's Zhang Weixiang. 27-year-old out of Taiyi Daxue, Taiwan University of Arts. Xu Yanzong didn't try to block, just went immediately for the swipe. Also, previously a member of the TSG Ghost Hawks. Before that, he was in the SBL. Started his pro career in 2019. Makes that second one. The Lioneers call timeout with just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's a, relatively speaking, lower scoring affair than the opening of yesterday's game between the Lioneers and the Dreamers, where the Lioneers were so hot to start the game. 13 for 27, including 8 made three-pointers. Let's see what kind of adjustment they make during this timeout that they called. Well, the Pilots also had an interesting story to their season. Last year, they actually started the offseason on July 4th with the announcement of signing Richie Rivero, a college basketball player out of the Philippines, but after the preseason, they mutually parted ways. And the Pilots actually went through the whole regular season with just the 3 imports, as Jeff Ayers arrived a few weeks into the season. Well, the Pilots both set the record for consecutive wins with 10 straight between December 4th and January 15th. Including 7 home games. But then they also lost 9 straight from March 4th through April 8th, which included 6 home games. And they were able to hang on to their playoff spot and also hang on to their 3rd seed. Though in the end, it didn't matter, as the Kings and Braves, the higher seeds in their respective opening series, moved on to the finals. The Pilots probably want to find a little more consistency, but it will be interesting considering they got even younger. Charles commits the foul, playing a little bit too close. And that will result in Lioneers free throws. That is a trademark of Caminos' defense, though. A lot of ball pressure. Zheng Boyu at the line. He goes by Xiaohei on the English broadcast Joker, part of his Instagram and social media handles. A 2-for-2 trip. Yesterday he had 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting, as doing a decent job applying pressure. Charles beating him, and Amdi on the second effort will put it in. So kind of a fast break out of a trap, you could say. Too handsy there on the defense, though. And that'll send the Lioneers to the free throw line again. I don't think putting the Lioneers at the line is exactly the defensive strategy the Pilots want to be executing in the first quarter. So Amdi will go off for a Washburn. He'll be joined by Ethan or Xiaobai. So a matchup between Xiaobai and Xiaohei. Nicknames we use in Taiwan often start with Xiao, just to indicate someone younger. But if you want to respect your elders, you might add ge to the end of people's names. So for example, Junior Hall, you might take his last character of his name, Hall, and you might call him Halke. But I think there's a little bit more famous Hall in our league. Well, we might get to that later. Washburn at the high post. The backdoor doesn't open up for number 10, Lin Ziwei, or Wayne. Played decently in the interleague. Limited time as now the Lioneers doing a great job with pressure. 2 seconds left. Braun pokes it away, keeping it inbounds and going with a right-handed reverse. Fancy move there. Right now the Pilots really off their kilter with this Lioneers defense has been so strong. Taoyuan cutting into the paint. Out to Lin Ziwei, he'll jab and fire. Not a great choice to go between the defenders as Lin Ziwei closing the distance. Maybe not the best choice, but he does get a foul out of it. Played the fewest minutes last year, did Wayne. As you see, Washburn just trying to find any teammate. There was only 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Taylor Braun sticking with the play, got himself 2 more points. Typically, the Pilots are one of the teams that kind of start off slowly, and it's kind of playing out here again. Last year, only 21 points they averaged in the first quarter. Ziwei drops in the first free throw. So it's not the worst thing in the world, as last year the Pilots only allowed 21.4 points per game in the first quarter. Former Plus League ball player Anthony Tucker sitting close to the Pilots bench. There you see his forehead sticking out behind the basket support on the left side from our main camera, camera number 1. Was a Dreamer, then a Steeler, then played for the Suns in the other league. Oh, Shefu leaves that one short. Let's see how much of the gap the Pilots can close with a minute left. Gonna space things out as Ethan out to Washburn. Easy driving kick 3 look off of Nicky Liu Shiming. Wearing the LP compression shirt. Lawrence going against Li Jiarui, clutching and missing the shot, though. Referees are definitely letting both teams getting away with a little bit more physicality. Pilots switch, and now they try to recover. Oshefu. Evan, they swing it around. The Pilots defense has recovered. 6 seconds left. Evan tries for 3 and a splash. About a 1 second shot clock, game clock difference as Ethan puts it up. A deflection, staying in bounds. Can he get it off? It's a little too late for Lin Ziwei, it looks like. So on back-to-back days, the Lioneers jump out to a first quarter lead today against the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. And we'll go to a break before the rest of the action gets underway. 27-18 is the score, with the Hsinchu Lioneers leading the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots. And for the first time over this preseason, I actually have a commentator. Welcome onto the broadcast, Jonathan.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, welcome, but I guess maybe you could be welcoming all of us, as the city of Geelong has been very generous in hosting, been co-host with this year's Plus League preseason. What's it like 1 day and 1 quarter in? Wang Zigang will get a 3 off, but it's going to be a brick. So Jonathan, I mean, you say pro basketball hasn't been here for a long time, but there are a number of pro basketball players.
Oh, yes.
In amongst the Plus League, SBL, and even the other league here in Taiwan. And the fans have certainly been very solid when especially their own boys perform well on the court. You see Jeremy talking in the hallways. We might see him on the floor later as he gets ready for the 5 p.m. tip later. So the fans here, I would say, really know their basketball.
Actually, Geelong City is considered one of the traditional powerhouse in Taiwan. Instead of besides Taipei, Kaohsiung, and I think one of the places that produce most of the national players, or the national for the national teams, are Geelong. And especially that when we talk about Jones Cup, then there's a 15-man roster. Every year in that 15-man roster for that blue team, you'll have 2 people coming from Geelong. So that it's very, very popular in Geelong in terms of basketball. And also, like as you know, Lin Zhijie is one of the he grew up in Geelong, and he played in the SBL, then today in CBA. So Geelong has a strong basketball culture, that's for sure. So we are looking forward for this exhibition game as well as in the future, if we can have a pro basketball team here.
That sure would be exciting. I mean, are the stories true? Was Beast really more than 100 kilograms at some points in his lifetime?
Huh?
He was a heavier guy, Lin Zhijie. It was kind of a funny story where he, as a young man, was much bigger, much more overweight,
yes,
but still athletic.
Yes.
But then now, compared to now, where he's got single-digit body fat, he's a very different
player.
player.
He was a big guy. That's why they call him the Beast. Because you cannot imagine GJ right now that he dunked the ball. Yes, he dunked the ball, but he dunked the ball and he threw out the ring.
Yeah,
that was before in the SBL time, and even before that. And he was strong, a little bit chubby, but he was sensational when he was young.
Very different player now, as kind of an excuse me foul. Amdi getting behind Clark. Kind of a dangerous play there, but thankfully both guys are all right.
As the game getting tense, I think the tendency that people get hurt more. And, I do believe that nowadays the basketball game has evolved from the inside-out game to outside-in. But when you talk about the outside-in game, then the rhythm and the possession is more, which takes a lot. Takes a lot on your joints, and that's why I keep thinking that nowadays people are getting hurt more easily. It may be because of the more possession and more running what your body does. Which I think there's something that we all have to adapt.
Sure. And the Lioneers in yesterday's game actually featured a lot of more perimeter play than they're used to. Obviously, previously with big centers on their roster, and the group they have here is a little bit different. But it's always nice when you can have different options and different styles of play to choose from.
Exactly.
One thing that I was beginning to talk about is how Caminos and the Pilots, maybe only because his first year, last year, he was still trying to work his way up to build a program. So by the end of the season, all the other teams kind of figured him out. So being adaptable is also big. Now, I'm kind of curious. Geelong is obviously the harbor city. It's known for being on the ocean side. what other prospects does G03 try to establish as, you know, a culture, as an economy?
I think right now, as the city develops on G03, then we are trying to become a tourism city, which will grow and provide more jobs and provide more revenue. And because G03 from mountain to sea is actually less than 15 minutes, it's quite unique in terms of if you want to go from high mountain to the beach, and you can come back and forth so quickly. So I think that's one thing that we are kind of proud of, and we are going to use this as a better developer.
Good information as there's a timeout of the floor. The Lioneers,
wow,
going on another run, now lead 36-22. As we'll be going to break. Jonathan, will you stick around for another segment with us?
Sure.
All right, see you in a bit. Good job.
Okay.
If you want to follow along with the action, of course, watch the game live. But if you're a stat head like me, PLEAGUEofficial.com, the official site of the Plus League, where the stats are updated live on a game-per-game basis. Lioneers continuing with their strong play on the game so far. Have shot 12 of 20 with 8:40 to go. New general manager Edward Zhang Sulen, of course, on hand to observe the team, see what they can figure out, hopefully make a playoff spot as Xiaobai is picked by Oscar. Tough left-handed layup miss, but in the midst of three pilots able to put it up and get a foul, and the pilots are having trouble even getting shots up. A lot of turnovers, either from deflected passes or deflected dribbles, and of course, none other than Oscar. He's done really well, not only from a productivity side, but as a showman, and that's got to be pretty exciting for the fans here.
Huh. We were talking about earlier during the timeout then about the way they're supposed to play. I think Lioneers right now is really adapt the five small ball really well. I think that if you can look at the lineup right now, Earl Clark and Brown and Gao, everyone is quite mobile. And if you have mobile, and we don't see, Earl Clark is actually more of a traditional three back in the NBA. But in here, because of size and the mobility, he's using as a small ball center quite well. I think that's why in the tempo, as long as the stamina can be established and the stamina can be okay, I think they have upper hands in terms of offense.
Good find and make by Lawrence, as for the first time Meeks and Lawrence playing together as new imports for the Pilots. Oscar slicing and dicing.
Nice play.
Taylor Braun with the two. The whistle as Meeks will go to the line. Lioneers, after missing the playoffs last year, as mentioned, kind of want to at least exact a little bit of even year magic this season after being the #1 seed and making it to the finals in season 2. Geelong's own Lee Jia-Rui will head to the bench after committing the foul earlier.
I do think from year 2 to year 3, there's a major change. And from now, year 4, from now on, I think Coach Lin has actually put his new strategy into this, which means in year 2, when you have Symbolo, then the game can be go inside out. But because Symbolo, then if you have advantage, you have weakness. His mobility-wise is quite troublesome. But now, if you look at new lineup, though this only an exhibition game, but I think that the new concept about how frequent the early offense and everything, I think that it really starts to show its result.
Yeah, theoretically, the Pilots should be pretty strong in the style of play, you would think. They have a lot of guards in their lineups, and they have a lot of mobile players as an early foul. So at least now the Pilots are trying to take advantage of size. Obviously, we talked about Willie Martino still returning from his national team service, and of Oshefu still building up his endurance. So a guy like Shi Yanzong will have to hold off some of the opponent's bigs, at least for the weekend here in the preseason. Amdi will go off for Washburn, and Jackie will follow with him. So Pilots kind of getting to a starting lineup now on the floor. Oshefu back in for the Lioneers.
I think Lioneers should watch out their personal fouls. Right now, there's 2 people who have 2 fouls. They still stay on the court.
Kind of a forced shot. No whistle there. Well, Jonathan, you know, for the fans back at home, how far is it maybe to get from Keelung to some of the neighboring municipalities? I drove in from Taipei. It's about a 45-minute drive. And nearby is Yilan as well, which has some of the scenic features.
Spots, yes.
Right?
Actually, Taipei is not that far, but I think, Ryan, you ran into traffic this morning.
Just a little bit, but I mean, to be expected. Everyone's coming out to the basketball game.
That's a good sign, but frankly speaking, I think from Keelung to Taipei without traffic, I think it's about like 25 minutes to 30 minutes max. But then it's quite near from central Taipei to Keelung. It's only 25 kilometers. So, but so I'm confused watching the game because
Oshefu with the board, getting it back, and he'll try a 3. Made one yesterday, 2 bounces and out. It was close. All right, let's, before the last game, I might order some to go. What are some the best food in Keelung? Of course, seafood, but can you get more specific? Sanzai Yao rails the 3 from the corner.
Actually, I would recommend you go to the fisherman's market in the Heping Island district. That's where there's a rainbow house. There's quite a scenic spot. Then it's quite similar to those houses you see in Europe. And if you go to the neighboring Heping Island fish market, I think you can find some good food over there. Of course, the famous Miaoko, the entrance of the temple. There's always a really good street food over there.
Needs to try to answer for 3. No. Well, good thing it's a 4-day weekend because we have preseason here for 3 days, and then the 4th for double 10. He was open but fouled. Oshefu will have to earn it from the line. So, does he get a highlight of Oscar making the 3, and that extends it to 43-28. Well, thanks to Jonathan for joining us, but he's a busy man. We'll see him around. Jackie will head to the bench, and Taoyuan will take his place. Oshefu goes 0 for 2. Taoyuan getting to the cup, but Oshefu provides the resistance as one man leaks ahead, but Zimbouri can't catch it cleanly. Going down the lane and getting a one-handed jam. And this is the loudest we've heard this stadium today. And another Lioneer score. They've had another good showing, at least through 20 minutes of play. Chen Yurei out to Chao Tzu-yu, who knocks down his first 3 as a pilot. I mentioned earlier, Chao Tzu-yu, actually a native of Hsinchu, went to Guangfu High School as they were building themselves up into a champion caliber program. Oscar from the left corner, rolling in and out. Chance to run for the pilots. Little 3-on-2. Good hands by Zhu Yunhao. Leaning back, 2 bounces and out. Goes out of bounds. Will be Pilots basketball. Ray trying the floater off the backboard and in. Last year got to play in 30 games. Ray averaged about 12 minutes played, only 2 points per game. Not exactly a prolific scorer, but between him and Li Jiakang, again, those defensive stoppers that Camino last season at least certainly prioritized. We have another Lioneers timeout, maybe to more or less let their guys catch their breath. They have been playing quite solid. But of course, on a back-to-back, there's definitely fatigue, and especially in yesterday's action, their imports only played the first half as they're kind of managing their fatigue levels, managing their health, and of course, letting their locals get after it.
Water, 先 screen 这一个 ，OK space 打好 ，OK， space 打好 ，water， 所以带上来这边 shape，OK， 冲上来 ，screen this way， 对 go， 对这一边 back screen， 他做 high show， 所以你们先把大人顶好 ，shape 进去对空档了，对 do hands，OK。
Look at the exploits of Taylor Braun, including that spin move and the steal and score. Also get to throw in the 3-pointer, starting the game off the bench. Already has himself 6 points, 5 rebounds, and of course the steal. A little bit of Pilots pressure as Chen brings it up past the timeline. He and Zimbabwe were opponents as rookies in the SPL. He got the switch as Zhuhao fouled, going to the basket. And the Pilots are kind of in a pickle now. They often are switching off, but the Lioneers are properly finding the lane, and actually that was Chen Yurei who swiped down and committed the foul. Junior Hall last season as a sophomore in the Plus League. His best game was 20 points against the New Taipei Kings early in the season, November 13th. 6-9 3-point shooting. Zhang Zhenya, though, gets it back and then some. He's got 9 points with 3 made threes. So Sheffield trying to put the dribble move on Washburn. Now post up in the lane as easy defense for Mayao. They'll start a break. 3-on-2, Taoyuan Ray. No call, but he gets it hit out of bounds off of a Lioneer. Definitely not easy as to get around the good leaping ability of Xianzong. He probably contends he got a hit on the underbody as he missed with the big swipe of the block shot as another intercepted pass. Chen going baseline, and that one's blocked out of bounds. Guan Dayo and Li Jiarui will check in for their respective teams. Getting crashed into, and again, Taoyuan Ray is trying to help, but he's really getting himself in a lot of trouble by committing so many fouls and sending the Lioneers to the line again. Zhu Yunhao listed at 194 centimeters, or about 6'4.5". Makes the first free throw. His counterpart on that play, number 27, Zhang Ziya, also 194 centimeters tall. Zhu Yunhao was a fifth-year senior at Jianxing University before he committed to the P.LEAGUE draft. Handoff series by the Pilots as Guan Dayo finds a crease and gets it on target. Li Jiarui a little bit late coming over with the help as the Lioneers have gone all local. Pilots recover, but Chen fires away and hits it. A three for number 2. His first score of the game. Over to Taoyuan Ray from the left corner, overshoots everything. Less than a minute to go, Lioneers with a 14-point lead. Zhu Yunhao driving and kicking, beating the clock, and Chen will leave it short. Pilots on the run again. This time going to the left side, and he will get the whistle this time. Actually took a shot to the face. Lioneers without an important local big in Xiao Sun-yi. Second in the vote for most improved player, and probably in a lot of other years might have gotten if not for Zheng Xiangjun's improvement. Number 21 of the Taipei Fubon Braves. On the game, the Pilots are 6 of 8 from the line. The Lioneers defense has been stingy, forcing them to 9 of 26 two-point shooting. Like I mentioned, doing a really great job, causing a lot of deflections. Evan hands it off to Joker. Chen as a good screen gets Zhu Yunhao open. Lead is back up to 15 as the Pilots are setting up for one final possession. Chen picks it from Killer, and they basically tackling him out of bounds. And once again, the Pilots turning it over before even getting it past the free throw line on the offensive side. He just lost the dribble there, lost his handles, more so than Chen applying the defense to really earn the steal. The referees will go to the monitor. Certainly within the realm of possibilities for an unsportsmanlike. The referee just put his arm up. Guan Dayo has seen his playing time year after year gone down, unfortunately. He was in fact a playoff starter in the Pilots' inaugural season. And it will be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike, so free throws and possession for the Lioneers. Coach Greg could have took that time to drop another play. Last season, the Pilots turned it over 16.2 times per game, which, as we mentioned yesterday on the broadcast, 5 other teams were in that jumble. Turning the ball over wasn't a huge issue during their losing streak, averaging 16.7 per game. It's more or less the shooting accuracy just completely fell off a cliff. Generous bounce for Jiang Guangqian. But the Lioneers can't inbound it in 5 seconds, so perhaps Coach Greg did drop a good 8-second offensive play. Now the Pilots electing to call a timeout and drop their play. Pilots currently playing without Sean Zouyixiang, the veteran point forward who spent some time in the CBA, was an MVP in back-to-back seasons in the SBL. Still rehabbing from his various leg injuries that he really didn't recover from between the off seasons as a Steeler. Now they're also without last year's local who played the most minutes in Justin, Lu Junxiang, who was a national team player at the Asian Games, though. It'll be interesting how Caminos manages Justin to build his confidence up, because he's not been exactly an effective player toward the end of the regular season. He did have the 20-point games in the playoffs, but not on good efficiency. And then on the national team, he was shooting a decent clip, but every time he took it to the basket, wasn't finding any success. A trap, they pop the pass out as Washburn gets it up, but it's a miss from deep, deep range. That'll be it for the first half as the Hsinchu Lioneers have a 57-40 lead, trying to finish off their preseason strong. Take a little breather as the Plus League preseason marches on here in Keelung.
Yeah, 听到我们 一期直播来现场，就知道我们要送好礼给所有的球迷朋友们了。要怎么参加我们的抽奖呢？请各位球迷朋友拿出你们的手机，帮我扫描上面2个大大的 QR code， 下载一期直播，进入我们置顶最大的直播间，就是我们的雄青福利社。我们在线上等待你进来抽奖喽。那我们今天的2大好礼是什么呢？俏喜帮我们公布给大家啦。
今天来到现场的朋友们，恭喜你们！我们今天呢，即将要抽出我们最大奖金5000元。
耶！那我们第2个奖品是什么呢？
是我们今天热身赛的老帽一顶。
没错，给现场的球迷朋友们看一下我们这个热身赛专属的老帽。有想要的球迷朋友们，赶快拿出你的手机，帮我们下载一期直播，进入直播间刷关键字留言啦。那我们今天最重要的关键字留言，一样要邀请我们的磊哥帮我们公布一下。
好，我来为大家宣布一下今天的关键字。今天的关键字呢，跟我们昨天不一样哦。我们今天呢，请大家把这个最喜欢球队的名字留下来，好不好？最喜欢球队的名字打上去，然后再加上你的座位号码。如果你喜欢勇士，你就打台北富邦勇士，不能打金州勇士哦，然后台北富邦勇士。然后你喜欢钢铁人，你就要打高雄17直播钢铁人。
没错，谢谢磊哥帮我们公布今天最重要的关键字。那我们如果是在2楼特区自由区的朋友，座位帮我留2楼特区就可以啦，就这么简单。那我们给大家一点准备下载一期直播的时间，还有帮我们刷关键字留言。在这之前呢，我们先来进一段超好听的歌曲。我们要邀请一期直播上实力派的歌唱主播为大家带来一首好听的歌，我们掌声欢迎小米儿。
耶
Hello， 大家好，我是一期直播的小米儿。大家好，我想要带来这首是《星星会开》，谢谢大家。会唱可以跟我一起唱哦。爱着你无法度，人讲感情的路莫勉强，一支草，一条路，因为黑白母嘛无较早。只要思念你，我甜啊甜蜜蜜，你来牵我的手好无？家己点啊凉甜甜，我飞啊飞上天，等好时才会当哎哟。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像春风对面车。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像你。上适合，人未来是天注定。一夜思念你，我甜啊甜蜜蜜，你来牵我的手好无？家己点啊凉甜甜，我飞啊飞上天，等好时才会当哎哟。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像春风对面车。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像你茫茫我明暗暗，我明暗暗。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像春风对面车。看着你心花开，我的心花开，若像你。我明暗暗，我明暗暗。
曲送给所有球迷朋友们。那现在的关键者主角就回到我们所有球迷朋友们身上啦。有没有在一起直播的雄青福利社直播间刷留言？那我们在这之前抽奖之前，先请我们俏喜再帮大家复习一下我们关键字是什么好吗？
好的，我们的关键字呢，就是今天你最爱的球队是哪一队？赶快帮我打上来，还有你的座位、区牌号码。那如果你是2楼特区的同学，你就直接打2楼特区就可以了。
没错，就这么简单。我们关键字留言刷起来，等一下2个大奖就让你带回家啦。那我们俏喜再跟大家公布一下，我们今天2大奖品是什么呢？
我们今天有准备了最大奖金5000元，哇！还有我们的热身赛老帽1顶。
没错，就是这2大奖品啦。那我们要来准备倒数10秒抽奖喽！现场的朋友们，关键字留言有在刷了吗？我们要倒数10秒，10、9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1，请截图。到底是哪2个幸运的得主可以获得我们的好礼呢？那在之前呢，提醒大家一下，稍后如果念到你的名字，如果你是在1楼的话，赶快到我们场边来找我们。那如果是2楼的朋友呢，请看到我们西出口有位工作人员拿着我们的举牌在等待你，你等一下就要马上来找我们哦，拿手机跟票根，赶快来找我们，因为你如果今天不领的话，那我们的奖品就会冲动到下一场送给下一个球迷朋友啦。那我们现在呢，准备要来公布今天的2位幸运得主。那我们请小咪儿来帮我们公布我们第1位5000块奖金的得主。
好，哇，这英文很长 ，Stanley Chen 05，然后他是新竹工程师加2楼特区61号。
恭喜你获得我们5000块钱，赶快到我们西出口。赶快到西出口找我们的工作人员。那我们第2位获得我们的帽子的球迷朋友们是哪一位呢？
哦，这个也超长 ，New Bine NEWBIE 底线91619 TW41TC 0，领航员东区16排43号。
恭喜你，赶快带着你的手机还有你的票根到场边来找我们。记得哦，趁现在赶快来，因为如果现在不领奖的话，你的礼物会送下去给下一场球迷朋友们。好，那我们等一下呢会在场边继续抽线上好礼，要送给所有的球迷朋友，所以不要离开我们的直播间。我们等一下会在场边呢抽我们热身赛专属的我们的应援毛巾。另外还有一个我们球星的人形立牌，千万不要错过啦！那我们先把现场精彩的球赛交还给我们的雷哥。
谢谢，再次谢谢一起直播的。
The festivities ongoing here in Jinglong Gymnasium, where the 23-24 Plus League preseason is underway. I'm Ryan Chen on the English commentary. Earlier we were joined by Jonathan Lin, a city councilman with the city of Geelong. Xiao Hu and Cai Bao provide the Mandarin commentary. We get to show you the combined team statistics, where the Lioneers have once again jumped out to a first half lead after doing so against the Dreamers yesterday. Again, shooting efficiently from the outside, 9 of 18 threes on the 3rd row. The Pirates have grabbed more rebounds, but crucially have also committed more turnovers. And it really goes to a lot of different players. Rookie of the Year starting guard Bai Aoten has committed one, the Jia Kang killer Guan Dayo, and the Lioneers have also done a great job jumping in the passing lanes. They can be exposed when it comes to dribble penetrations, but in the same vein, the Pilots defense has had a problem kind of matching up and rotating around. They've committed a lot of fouls and sent the Lioneers to the free throw line more so than they've gone themselves. In fact, the first half saw the Lioneers take 21 free throws to the Pilots just 9. Another area where the two teams are kind of separating themselves. Lioneers playing on a back-to-back. They have kept up their proficient shooting, as we'll bring you leading scorers in a graphic coming up soon. The same rotation of 3 imports between Earl Clark, who got the start, along with Oshefu, manning center, and Taylor Braun coming off the bench and showing off his variety of skills defensively and offensively. On the Pilots side, of course, those of you who watched last year know about Jason Washburn making the return to a solid amount of fanfare, a lot of fanfare in fact, but paired up, at least for this preseason game and presumably for tomorrow's action, with Kennedy Meeks, number 5, and number 3, Anthony Lawrence. Two players who more or less are forwards. We'll see how they kind of work into the Pilots rotation under Caminos, his second year last year after making the playoffs, but we talked about on the broadcast that they're kind of losing a little bit of steam toward the end. Tanzania with 3 made three-pointers leads the Pilots with 9 points, followed by Amdi, collegiate teammate, with 5. Jackie Lee Jakang for Ray Ray, number 2 this year after being double-0 before, and also with 4. And free agent Sani Zhang Weishang also knocked in a three-pointer. On the Lioneers side, Zhu Yunhao, their wing shooter, 12 points. Taylor Braun with 9. O'Shefu, number 32, with 8. Earl Clark was 7. And Oscar Gogglehall with 6 points. Also showing up the plenty flashy assists. We'll go to a break before the action starts in 5 or so minutes.
好，紧急跟大家报告，得主5000元得主还没有来哦，还没有来。2楼特区61号，你都留言了，然后你都中奖了。Stanley Chen 05哦，赶快，5000元新台币呢，5000元新台币，赶快来领奖，谢谢。哦，来了。好，另外一位得奖者，领航员东区16排43号 ，Newbie 91619 Taiwan TW 41TC0，请赶快来领奖，你也还没有领到你的奖项。好，领航员东区16排43号，赶快来领奖，谢谢。
So the Dreamers and the Kings are filing into the stadium, getting ready for their matchup. Garrett or Tianlei in the fold. Former Pauian teammates and Doug and Quincy Davis talking in the hallways as well. Preseason is always a good time for everybody to catch up, especially when you play the later game and gotta wait for the earlier game the teams to clear out of the locker room, so plenty of even more time to get caught up with everybody, former teammates, former opponents. Maybe even a chance to make amends. The Lioneers will inbound. They have Taylor Braun and Earl Clark in there. Good hands by Anthony Lawrence. It will stay with the Lioneers for now, but Pilots can elect to go to the monitor for an instant replay challenge. And the referees come together and figure out they want to change that call. They look clean, at least with the swipe of the basketball. Number 10 leads the way, starting the second half. There's a whistle as he's putting up the shot. This guy's going to be on Dumbo, were you trying to chase him from behind? He did have a hand on his hip. Here you see the Pilots coaching staff. The one on the left was actually the Pilots interim coach in the first season. Wayne, after dropping in the first, goes really high with arc on that one as loose ball fouled by Andy, I think, pushing the back. Originally it was supposed to be Liu Yixiang, but they didn't continue, and it was going to be actually Yang Yifeng who coached their team to the playoffs and in fact forced the Game 5 against the Dreamers. Now a supervisor of player development. Oscar will try from 3. A little, almost a mishap there on the rebound. I haven't said the name of the imports for the Pilots that much in the scoring department as Lawrence flings it, lucky to get it back. As Meeks kind of anticipated more contact, did end up getting the foul. See, in zone, trying to trick him by dodging out of the way, and that right hand is probably what they saw, and that would be the right call. You don't need to put your hand on your opponent unnecessarily like that. And number 5, Meeks. Second made free throw of the day, has 5 rebounds and an assist as well. One positive note for the Pilots. All 13 players have made it on the floor and 11 of them have gone on the scoreboard. As Oscar, a tricky shot fading away. Crowd of Pilots on the left side as leans away to Lawrence, to Meeks, staying physical with it, and ends up being a stop for the Lioneers as they push it ahead. Deep shot by Clark is a brick. Great defense. As that one bounces out, Taylor Braun put both his hands behind his back there. Clark almost put on the fancy crossover, but it's going to be a turnover. Wayne to the trailing Meeks, who gets 2 hands up and down. And that leads to a timeout. Pilots making a little bit of noise as we go to break.
前面的小朋友稍微注意一下，要注意安全，要注意安全。来这边来一颗，好，来上面来一颗，小心哦，小心哦，小心小心小心。好，这边也来一个，这边也来一个，来，哎。好，我们有一个17直播的 Ken， 同时请大家注意一下，右手比1，左手比7。右手比1，左手比7，然后要记得拍照截图哦。等一下会去外面可以领奖。右手比1，左手比7，没错，就是这样。右手比1，左手比7。好，右手比1，左手比7，哎，非常好，好，可爱的一家人，对，就是这样啦。谢谢你们，哎 ，very good。
Follow the Plus League social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Hopefully you're watching on there, listening to the English commentary. And don't forget our official line accounts. So trying to manage the players' fatigue and health levels. The Lioneers having Clark and Braun out there in the second half after yesterday. All three of their imports only participated in the first half. Same lineup for the Lioneers as the Pilots making a little bit of noise with a quick 5-0 run. A little bit of ball pressure as Oscar picks up his dribble. Braun putting on his move. To Oscar. His 2 is all net. With 2 guarding, looking for a pass as Meeks keeps it up and puts it in. Good connection by the Pilots import duo. Now Braun and Clark trying to get it back. 3 is on the way and too strong. Pass could have been a little bit better as the intended target, Amdi, was busy tussling along with Taylor Braun down there. And a look at Hsinchu trying to front, but a good pass. I was kind of wondering if the Lioneers were doing okay doubling Lawrence, who didn't have any intention of scoring. On the right side, Afe will miss his 3 as kind of understandably the shooting is getting more difficult for the Lioneers. By taking the contact and couldn't put it in. Oscar takes a kind of funny tumble as the basketball is literally kicked to the 3rd row behind the scorer's table. Looks like everybody's all right. It's not like a line drive foul ball. Substitutions for both teams coming up. Clark, 14 points yesterday, but coughs it up. Jackie with a spin move to Meeks, through the contact and another finish. This time on fresh into the game, Prince Wang. That nickname obviously from the first 2 characters of his Mandarin name. I guess obviously if you're like me and you have your local school education. Oscar going the left side baseline. Wang Zigong deep 3 is short. Got Taylor Braun in the corner. Thanks to those of you watching on stream. I see 500 and more. Amdi screens, or handoff, then screens. Electing to take the 3. That one's blocked, but Meeks in the right spot puts it up and in. As Braun will bury a 3. Form looks good. Taylor Braun, a strong 3-point shooter. and he provides a little bit of a screen assist for Bandayo to get it over. Lawrence, another block by Clark. Down low, swing and zone to get the score. Turning defense into offense. Lawrence clutching in the air after the Lioneers got their hands on it. Things have kind of evened up as Meeks gets a boot on it, to use a football term. There's Braun wearing 24. That one's cut off by Jackie. He'll lay it in and close the gap to 9. Oshefu's in. As Zhang Ziyang gets a hand on the ball, forcing Braun back, so the Pilots doing a better job with deflections themselves. Bandayo and Washburn on the side as Evan just holds him. Finally, the referees come in with a whistle. Four personal for Evan Lee, Ray. Played the most minutes coming off the bench, and part of it, of course, we talked about the Lioneers imports not playing the second half as Meeks a little short with a 3. Bandayo whistle on his way to the cup. Looks like they might call it sideline out of bounds. Kind of trapped there. As Bandayo pops for a foul line jumper. His jump shot has been broken all game. Touch the rim. Shot clock violation. Actually a decent play. Would have been a backdoor for Lee Ray, but the Pilots sniff it out. Dongfang Yikang and Chao Tzuyu in. Slip of the handles as Evan has that one stripped away. Calling what looks like a 1-4 play. turning into their handoff series. Flare to Chaozu from the right corner is in. Oscar finding a lane, clutching, but flipping that one just off the rim. To Charles, through the lane, behind the back, but off target. Probably should have took it himself as Chaozu can't make it 2 in a row. On the podcast Showtime Diipai, Chaozu shared that one thing he's always had confidence in his shooting touch, even as a nearly 200 centimeter forward/center. Oscar short. Minutes to go in the third quarter. Jackie gets the feed from Washburn in the mid-range. That would have been the tightest of windows to get it through. Another look at the kind of misdirection play and the nice adjustment when you have a big who can shoot it from the outside. The first person that comes to mind is from the Pilots last year, Chen or Pong Pong. Doubled his three-point attempts, and his shooting percentage even went up 25% to 31% as Ambi grabs that rebound. He went along with Si Jingyao, who in the first season of the Plus League back in 20 and 21 was an All Plus League first teamer. Those two guys for Zhou Yixiang. And you add Calvin, who contract agreed with a team to part ways earlier. And Huang Han left in free agency to the DEA. Had the highest local plus minus for the Pilots at plus 128. So you take these four guys and a team whose local age went down significantly. Last year, those guys were 31 years old. And now leaving the Pilots with all guys who would make the average only 26-year-old. Chaozu was too handsy, and Chef Wu takes a hard fall. Looks like he's all right. Lioneers don't have bonus free throws yet. They'll inbound on the side. Deep shot from Hall. Xiaobai from the top, he misses the three as they finally get a whistle. Lawrence tangled up with Hall, fighting for the rebound. But on the other side, the Pilots forcing the Lioneers in the bonus, so kind of a flip of the script. First half to second half. Here's Coach Greg showing off the black polo shirts after yesterday they wore white. 2 for 2, and the Lioneers electing to call timeout. As the Pilots have closed it into within 2 points. So even with the import players out there, the Lioneers struggling in this third quarter. Let's see if we can listen in.
手不好，因为他两大，然后丁恩迪在推，所以你现在的 PK roll 要一小来带，这样可以吗？所以一样，等下 Water 是这一个位置，然后完了以后 Shane 这边1号位来做，所以让2楼在外面，这样可以吗？所以你这样子下档的时候出来走进去，对，2楼shake out，2楼会是1 on 1对那个丁恩迪，这样可以吗？然后对，他现在有一小。对，你们要移动，再来，然后再什么？现在没有耐心，一次就要干掉他。No， mismatch， 5 man kick out，OK，reseal，feeding again， 还是 local，OK。对，球，没有人进去。
Oh, look, Dobotan has arrived. Free agent signing with the Lioneers. Was with Chinese Taipei's national team in Hangzhou. Team ended up in 4th place. Had a really impressive 2-game winning streak there in the elimination rounds. Spain pick and roll coming up. Finally get it to Oshefu with a foot in the paint. Trying to find an outlet as Wang Zigang to Taoyuan. Decent look, but it's off. We do have a mismatch, but Chaozu, quick fire 3, and that's a Pilot's lead here in Game 3 of the preseason. And right now, the fans are behind the team in orange. It's now a 25-7 quarter. Joker probing, throwing it just straight back to the backcourt. There's pump faking, dropping it, running out of time, throws it away. And the panic has set in with these Lioneers on the floor, and just like that, Greg calling upon Galguahal to stabilize things. There you see Chaozu, you're just left open as all the Lioneers were packed in the paint. Early in the shot clock, so Andy will keep the offense going. A couple bounces and in. That's Sanwei Xiang. He's from Taisan High School. There you see it on the screen at 27-7 as a quick whistle. The Pilots trying to contend for a jump ball. Also, you're trying to argue it was clean, but then the referee right in front of me gave him the indicator that you don't need to play defense with your elbow. Oshefu with Chaozu guarding, now looking to shoot it as Clark bangs the 3. Ball gets away. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So the Lioneers on that last made 3 do tie it up at 67, but it's the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots on a big run. Hopefully we get another exciting finish here in Geelong, where the Plus League preseason marches on to the halfway point.
球迷朋友，注意一下大荧幕，我们在球场的两边都有大荧幕哦，可以来看一下大荧幕，看你是不是来到镜头上面。来注意一下我们的17直播17 camera， 如果你上到镜头上面的话，记得帮我们右手比1，左手比7，哎，没错，就是你们啦。右手比1，左手比7，这样子也 OK， 这样子也非常好。哎，左手比7，右手比1。然后记得呢，拍照截图，拍照截图，我们有礼物要送给你哦，可以到外面17直播的摊位来换礼物。右手1，左手7，右手1，左手7，来17直播，哎 ，That's right， 右手1，左手7，好，非常好，右手1，左手7，哎。非常好，对，标准动作 ，very good，very good，very good。17直播17 camera， 我们这3天呢，请大家下载17直播的 APP， 有非常多的礼物，最大奖5000元，要在中场抽给大家。下一场比赛也有，请大家呢要把握机会，赶快下载 APP。好，另外也要跟大家报告，下一场比赛呢将要由新美国王对上福尔摩沙梦想家，也请大家呢可以留下来持续为球员打气加油。
球迷朋友们 ，Oh My Basketball 是我本人在 Ivy Bar 学英文吧教你的篮球的英文术语，搭配 P.LEAGUE 影片，打造全新的线上课程，欢迎大家点资讯栏里的连接一起学习。The highlights of the third quarter belonging almost exclusively to the Pilots, who go on a 27-10 run against the Lioneers in the frame. 7 of 8 free throws, 9 of 20 from the field, and the Lioneers, not a single trip to the free throw line. In particular, Meeks had 10 points and getting a little bit of extra camera time. Number 7, Taoyuan, who knocked in a couple threes. Now, Zhang Zhenyan trying to join the party in and out as Meeks, kind of an excuse me foul there, going for the rebound. Oscar, Fly, Earl Clark, Taylor Braun, and a joker for the Lioneers. Clark, another three-pointer made. His form's been good in the second half. Good screen as Xiaobai swings over to Zhang Zhenyan. He doesn't miss 2 in a row. Tying things up at 70. We talked about Junior Hall's best game. Well, Zhang Zhenyan in his rookie season. That one's taken away, and good anticipation by Joker. Gets it back. He'll try to skip the 3 and rails it. Finish the point. Last year, Zhang Zhenyan had 2 games scoring 19 points as a personal high. Once against the Dreamers, once against the Braves. Washburn with a mismatch. Trying the corner jumper, and they're going to say it's too late. Shot clock violation. Washburn is the Pilots' favorite low post target. They've gone to him many times down the stretch in games last season, including a couple game-tying or possible game-winning situations. Oscar spinning right into Xiaobai's decent defense as he taps into Washburn. Good anticipation. feeling it. Zhang Ziya can't make it 2 in a row. Ray hangs on to it and lets the Lioneers defense recover. Now the high post, Washburn with a right-handed push shot, yes. Pilots keeping pace. Austin going with a left-handed flip. Ray dropping the basketball, trying to go behind the back, and now it's a little eventually 4-on-0 because the ball gets away from Joker. You see DeMarcus with the sling for the right shoulder. Charles is back in for Ethan, who's played okay, but statistically not great. Good pump fake, getting a foul. That's Tony Ray. One thing you notice, a lot of guys are going at Zimbo Yu, making him chase them and getting dribble drive penetration opportunities. First free throw is good for Ray Chen, you can call him, but actually the Ray Chen, Chen Yujun, recovering from a knee operation, so he couldn't participate in Chinese Taipei basketball this offseason. So it really used him. It's a foul out of the defense. Even if it's said before, it deserved to be said again. Caminos will have his guys play very physical defense. Clark rifles a pass to Hsinchu, who has it stripped out of bounds and off his leg. Good hands by Washburn. So position by position switch. Evan in for Hsinchu. Evan in for Fly. Fong running the point. Too high set. On the same page, but kind of lucky with it. Washburn misses the first and misses the brush on the follow-up. Clark, one man to beat. Again, good hands by Lawrence. Second or third time. Dong Fong to Tony Ray. Zhang Ziya from the right corner this time, but off to the right. Loose ball in the air, Pilots with it, and an unsportsmanlike foul by Clark, fleeing the Pilot away. Have to catch his breath there after the hard hit. Looks like he's mostly okay, just needs to catch his breath. Might have put him in a spot to lose his breath, get the air knocked out of him. That's Tony Ray. In fact, the fans in the stadium get to see what you say, and it was a hit to the back and the front. The referees immediately call unsportsmanlike. They would be in their right to call a disqualification foul. Just the 2 free throws as Clark gets to stay in. Out of bounds off of Clark as he had the height advantage over Dongfang going for the board. Now they elect to get Taoyuan seated on the bench. Lawrence with Li guarding. Gets him in the paint. The shot is blocked. And that one missing the mark, and no pilots got their hands on it, so it'll just be an air ball. Called a pop all around these parts. Pilots up by 2, 7 minutes to go. Jiakang left wide open, can't hit. Ron and Clark setting up the double screen. A pin down for Hall. Good anticipation by Jackie there as Lawrence gets his hand on it. And an unsportsmanlike somewhere. That would be unfortunate. Kind of an in-between play, you could say, as you see Lawrence stab at the ball and the hand fighting was called. Get another look from the main camera angle as tugging on Lawrence's right hand. Enough to constitute a foul, and actually it does make a lot of sense. That's 2 by the Lioneers in the quarter. That second one you can say a little bit more circumstantial. Guarded by Braun, putting a lot of pressure on as he throws it out of bounds. And the look as Dongfang was really in between and wasn't threatening to drive the basketball anywhere. He gets the steal back. And the kick ball when he really should have went for the alley-oop. Pilots basketball. Lioneers have, in quick succession, committed 3 fouls in the quarter. See the nice hands by Dongfang as Zhenbo does get a boot on it. And a foul from the side. That's Evan, who was a step behind. Attacking on the catch. There's a foul there, and there's a foul with the point of contact, the referees call it. 5 personal for Li Jiarui. Yesterday, the Lioneers with the most foul was Li Jiarui, but only 4, as Lawrence crossed his hand there with that free throw. In the afternoon, or the evening game, excuse me, between the Braves and the Steelers, local big Li Ziwei had 4 personal. That was the high in that game. Nobody else with more than 3. On catching on top, given space, his 3 is on the way. Good hands and forcing the Pilots back is Li Jiakang. Lawrence driving left, taking the contact and finishing. Number 3's got 10 points. And a hooking foul trying to prevent Evan from going anywhere. We do have a physical matchup. Timeout call to let everybody catch their breaths. It's getting hot here in Kaohsiung, where the Lioneers and Pilots have about 5.5 minutes to determine this one.
哪里想要的，来，要注意哦，要注意安全哦，好来。 好 ，OK， 来，手举高一点，让我看到你，让我看到你，小心一点，小心一点，不要乱跳，不要乱跳。好，前面一点，前面一点，好，不要乱跳，不要乱跳。好，这边来一个，这边来一个，好，这边来一个，我丢错了，来，再一个，再一个，再一个，再一个，好，小心，小心，小心。好，谢谢。
For the first time in Plus League history, the preseason brought to an out-of-market city here in Keelung. And on back-to-back days, the Hsinchu Lioneers are in a tight battle down the stretch. Yesterday it was the Dreamers. Today it's the Pilots, who have a 39-16 second half score. Both teams have one import for the respective clubs. Amdi's in there for center of the Pilots. And Braun against Lawrence on the import side of things. Braun down low, but a nice diving play by Wayne causes the deflection, and looks like Xianzong took a bump. Gonna have to take a little inventory. Called a jump ball, so the arrow pointed the Lioneers' way. Fly is actually a native from the south. Born in Kaohsiung, went to Sanbin, Jiasong, and then Iso University. As the Pilots get another takeaway, Lawrence, fighting through several Lioneers defenders, gets the whistle. I believe that is Evan's 6th personal foul. Probably could have asked for one of his teammates to help him out, but you see Lawrence again with those long limbs and very accurate hands in terms of getting steals. There's too much physicality, the refs say, where Taylor Braun can come in and get a steal of his own. Lioneers didn't realize it till now, and they have Junhao come in his place. He's got a big wrap on his right leg, his calf and his quad. Probably to help out with the knee. So Anthony Lawrence playing better and better as this game has gone on. Standing at 201 centimeters, about 6'7½", but rolls out the second one. Oscar finding some room. There is a whistle. Here's the kind of a rare thing for Oscar to be attacking kind of on the move. That's a smart play. Without a dribble, you can kind of shake the defender and create more distance. Usually when he fouls on the switch. Lioneers put on a little bit of pressure as Jackie bring it across the timeline. Dongfang once again running the point. Really only in his 3rd professional season, but Minos hasn't running the offense. Jackie over to Lawrence. Running low on time. Takes the layup, in and out, and right over his hands. Hsinchu played solid defense. Oscar putting on the moves. The deep shot is in. Cutting the lead down to 2 as now Oscar trying to guard Lawrence. Trying to bully ball him, getting by 1, putting it up and a miss. Providing enough space for Oscar to nail that 3. Now it's the Lioneers who are making their run. Five, 6, 7-point run. No, 6-point run for the Lioneers. This Pilots lineup has been looking Lawrence's way as he dishes to Andy. Target misses, but gets the putback. And the side down low for the Lioneers. Ron's way, but the pass the wrong side. Li Jiaokang, the one who would probably get credit with a steal, deflected pass, and another deflected pass. 18 seconds to go. We need to worry about the backcourt violation as the Lioneers deflected it, but now 10 seconds. Gotta hurry. And outside Lin Ziwei is off target. They can get back, but they get the steal. And another bounce pass in transition, kicked away by a Lioneer. Minos holding on to his timeouts. Wayne will take a seat for Xiaobai, who's not had the best plus-minus on the game. They really need it now. Taking free of the defender, out to Li Jiaokang. Catch and shoot is no good. Crowd cheering on Oscar as you see Meeks switched on to him. Clutching around, finding C in zone. And the Pilots cover it up. Oscar rushing it and hitting. He ties it up at 82 as the crowd is getting into it. Catching a mismatch and getting the foul. Like I said, Oscar kind of rushing it. Playing frantically, but makes it work for himself as he got Xiaobai in the air. But Oscar would rather dribble right to take his pull-up instead of left. forget the dance. Hong now with 16 points on the game after yesterday's 20. He leads the Lioneers in scoring and in fact leads the game. In anticipation, the two imports double him. The Lioneers rotated around. Going with a hot hand. Ethan guarding. Meeks with the help. Crossing himself into trouble. Has to fling it up with the left hand. And it will be a shot clock violation. No other Lioneers had any inclinations to shoot the shot themselves. And that would have been a crazy miracle shot. Though not the craziest of the summer. We've seen at the absolute 3-on-3 series a hook shot from half court as Ethan will try from the right corner. Yes! Hsinchu the Xiaobai. His first field goal of the game, in fact. Oscar from that same side. With a little bit less than a minute and a half, the Pilots will elect to slow it down. Playing keep away as another kickball. I don't know what kind of inside story is that with Taylor Braun's gesture. Good play by Meeks because he knows he's going to get doubled with the Lioneers local bigs unable to defend him, so pass became open. Lawrence getting a step, but an illegal screen, no traveling. And he did create a lane for him. I thought it could have been an offensive foul that way. It stays a 2-possession deficit for the Lioneers as we have a timeout.
快点，够局刚，不让发球，然后完了以后4、5，然后这一个是子刚，这一个是欧，可以吗？哦，所以发对面 ，sorry， 这样子可以吗 ？OK， 所以第一个。 这一边 back street 这个人走，子刚走，这一边欧出来，给到欧，可以吗？所以给到欧的这一个人在 ball street， 欧走，这一边 down street， 子刚再出来一个3，然后完了，然后看，所以这一边，所以他会进到扣，所以这一边，对，所以这边欧会有2个 1 2，OK， 给我个3，全场。你看他。
Unforced turnover by the Pilots, and the Lioneers still have some breath. Dangerous pass as Oscar eventually gets it, flings it up. And Dolphin diving on the floor, but a foul first. He trying to claim he was fouled. Definitely looked like a funny play as the Pilots got their hands on it. Get another look. Li Jiakong, he was in there, and Oscar probably felt Jackie kind of falling into him. Meeks got a big rebound there. Meeks with 1 free throw. That play only took 6 seconds. But a make here would make it a 3-possession game. Nothing but difficulty. Kennedy Meeks. He's got 16. Hao finding the lane, and he gets the foul. Time-wise, a pretty good outcome for the Lioneers if they can get both. Stopping the clock and setting up the defense. There you got by Lawrence. And then it looks like Meeks with the foul on the swipe. Perhaps some little offense defense. Taylor Braun is out for Zhenbo Yu. Or it could just be for fresh legs. But in and out and out. And an 0 for 2 trip. That almost seals the game for the Pilots. Pilots playing a little keep away now. Little give and go as Lawrence can't finish through the multiple contact. Little strip by Ethan. They have numbers. Xiaocang will practice his floater. No, but Lawrence will add 2 more to his name. Now that will put the game away. Hall electing to let the clock run down. And at 91-82 is the final here in Game 3. Pilots coming out as the victors. The Lioneers, again, have a pretty good game, but they're really only playing one good half of basketball. The Pilots kept their foot on the gas with 17 plus 9, a 26-point advantage in the second half. Again, all these teams are still works in progress. Lioneers actually shoot the 3-ball good for 15 for 35 or 43%. So that's a positive, no matter if it's strategy or the individual players shooting for a better percentage. We are waiting to hear about who will be the player interviewed or coach interviewed in the post game. As part of our post game coverage. Don't forget, coming up at 5 p.m., the Formosa Dreamers against the New Taipei Kings. And we anticipate number 7 will be in. But Qiao Zuyu, player interviewed in the postgame.
就是有把空档投进，然后有就是执行教练的战术这样子，然后做好防守这样。 就是他们的洋将就跟大学的会计生不一样，他们的非常壮，然后个人能力又很好，然后切入的破坏又很好，对吧？其实一开始加入那个领航员的时候，其实 有点不习惯，因为我很常就会跑到禁区里面做以前就是大学或高中在做的事情。可是教练团有一直跟我讲说，我现在是4号位，就是现在5号的位的工作都是给洋将他们去执行，然后我就做好外面的投射，然后做一些策应，这样子把外面的机会把握住，这样。其实没有啦，就是对吧？ 没有，就刚好今天有投进啊，今天刚好投进，对。
Well, thanks to Qiao Zhu joining our post-game coverage, making his open shots, doing what his coach instructed, defense. He shared that the import players are much stronger than the international students in college, and having to transition himself from an inside player to outside player one last break before we wrap things up of Game 3 and send ourselves off to the nightcap here in Keelung. Where the Taoyuan Pauian pilots defeat the Hsinchu Lioneers in a preseason matchup here in Keelung. Once again, the Lioneers have a big lead in the first half, but their opponents have a big second half to eventually win the game. Earlier, the Lioneers were putting a lot of pressure on the pilots and causing a lot of deflections and turnovers, but it seemed like they kind of ran out of gas there in the second half, and the pilots really figure out what their identity was on the offensive end, with a lot of guys pitching into the offense, including Anthony Lawrence and Kennedy Meeks, their new imports. Coming up soon enough is the Formosa Dreamers against New Taipei Kings. We'll have a Mandarin and English broadcast of that one, where the two teams will match up. We do expect Jeremy Lin to play, if you're curious. But he and his teammates, his new teammates, let's see how they fare in the preseason action. So on behalf of Xiaohu, Taibao, 6 teams in the Plus League and our league operations, thank you for watching. We'll see you in a bit.
fuck it, call it a Drake.